Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this channel, I'll going to cover all the concept of SSLC, PUC and degree studies. For that, I will display the timings and schedule in my next video. If you are new to my channel, please do subscribe and press the bell icon for further updates. So, without wasting our time, let us move towards our today's first topic on first PUC computer science. This is first concept, that is overview of computer, and it is general concept for all of us about block diagram of computer. And for first year students as well as second year students, it is mainly for 10 mark question, 10 to 12 mark question. So functional components of computer. So you need to draw this block diagram of computer: input unit, memory unit, output unit and central processing unit. Input unit, central processing unit having control unit, arithmetic and logic unit and registers. Third one is memory unit and fourth one is output unit. These are the four major functional units of computer. So the very first one is input unit. The input unit is external device that is connected to CPU. It is mainly used to feed data and instructions to the computer for solving the problem. The control unit sends the signal to units and this receives data and instructions from the user. Here examples of input unit is keyboard and mouse. The other input devices, as we know, scanner, OMR, OCR, light pen, joystick, etc. Now comes to central processing unit. It is the main part of computer system. As we know, it is known for heart or brain of a computer system. The function of this CPU is to interpret the functions in the program and execute them one by one. It mainly consists of major units, as I told you: control unit, arithmetic and logic unit and registers. Here control unit, it mainly controls and coordinates the activities of all units of a computer system, and it mainly performs four basic operations, that is fetching data and instructions from the memory, controls the flow of data to and from the main memory, decode and executes the instructions, controlling input and output devices, as we say, the overall supervision of computer system. And the next one is arithmetic and logic unit, ALU. It is mainly used to perform the operations like arithmetic operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus operation, and it also performs logical operations which results in true or false, and also it performs relational operations. Now registers. Here the central processing unit mainly consists of number of temporary storage units which are used to store instructions and intermediate data which may be generated during processing. Now memory unit. As we can see, memory unit consists of primary memory and secondary memory. Memory unit, it is a device where the data and instructions fed by the user which are stored. Here primary memory and secondary memory used to store the information. The memory where the data and instructions are stored during execution is known as primary memory. It is also used to store the intermediate and final results of program like RAM, ROM. These are the examples of primary memory. And the memory which is used to store the data permanently for the future purpose is called secondary memory, that is permanent memory. Examples are hard disk, floppy disk, CD-RAM, DVD-ROM, pen drive, etc. And the last one unit is output unit, which is mainly used for instructions. The unit is responsible to display or print the results. As we know, examples are monitor, printer, speaker, plotter, etc. Okay, this is the functional components of computer. Next comes to generation of computers. First generation of computers, that is 1945 to 1959. These were developed after 1946 to 59 and were built in vacuum tubes. Their speed was 10 to the power of -3 seconds They had mainly limited primary memory and used magnetic drums as secondary storage devices. They used punched card and magnetic tapes here to input and output operations. And their features of vacuum tubes are used for internal operations, magnetic drums are used for memory, punch cards used for input and output, low level languages were used for programming. Here processing was very slow and it was very expensive. Having system was huge and non-portable. The important computers of this generation are ENIAC, UNIVAC and EDVAC, etc. Next comes to second generation computers, that is 1956 to 1963. Here in 1948 what happened means the invention of transistor greatly changed the computer's development here and were built in diodes and transistors. Their speed was 10 to the power of minus 6 seconds. They had more primary memory and provide higher reliability. Here their features are transistors are used for internal operations, magnetic core was used for main memory, magnetic tapes and disk are also used for secondary memory, that is storage. High level languages were used for programming. The important computers of this generation are IBM GE635. Here the system was faster, cheaper and smaller when compared to first generation of computers. Now third generation of computers, that is 1964 to 1971. Though transistors were clearly an improvement over vacuum tubes from first to third, but they will still generated in great deal of heat, which is damaged by computer sensitive internal parts. The use of quartz rock eliminated this problem. Jack Kilby, an engineer with Texas Instrument, developed the integrated circuit, that is IC. Here the speed was about 10 to the power of minus 9 seconds. They were used for semiconductor memory, having high reliability and reduced size. And their features are integrated circuits, that is IC on silicon chips were introduced for internal operations. Mini computers are introduced here. Maintenance cost was low and what we call hardware failures were rare. System were faster, cheaper and smaller. The important computers of generation are IBM system, CDC 6600, Cyber 175, etc. Now fourth generation of computers, that is 1971 to present. Here after IC, that is integrated circuits, the next is large scale integrated circuits, that is 100 to 1000 transistor in a single chip and have VLSI, very large scale integration, that is up to 1000 to million of transistor per chip. They have high storage and capacity of their processing speed is about 10 to the power of minus 9 to 10 to the power of minus 12 second. Here the concept of networking is introduced. When comes to features, here introduction of microprocessor, more circuits on LSI, that is large scale integration, and VLSI, very large scale integration. The use of chips for memory, the cost was reduced to greater extent. Hardware failures were negligible. The important computers of this generation are IBM 3033, HP 3000, PDP 11, etc. and all modern PCs. Fifth generation of computers, this is the last generation which ranges from present to beyond. The fifth generation computers will mainly based on artificial intelligence. Note this, allowing them to think and reason to learn. The parallel and multi-processing technology used in fifth generation computers. The development of supercomputers was key motivation of fifth generation computers. Supercomputers were developed in super large scale integration, that is SLSI, that is millions of transistors per chip. So these they have features like development in storage technology, advancement in networking technology, system are more reliable, faster and cheaper. Development of supercomputers, artificial intelligence are started. Here artificial intelligence are also started. Development of robots, and the important computer of this generation are PRAM 10,000, Cray machines, etc. Now I covered the two concepts of first year PUC and the basic concepts for all of us. If you are new to my channel, please do like and subscribe and share my channel. Thank you for watching.